Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Joseph E. Reed, the one-man orchestra, here tonight. It's nighttime here. Giving you some live music as I'm practicing here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's rainy here. It's a rainy night in Georgia. Hey, if you enjoy the music, make sure you like and subscribe, share with other folks, and if you have song requests, put them in the chat, and I'll see if I can play it for you. Also, why don't you let me know where in the world you're listening from? We'll keep the music going and have a good time. Turn it down a little bit, huh? Hello, Clovis. Lucy Cat, good to see you. That one was called How Deep the Father's Love for Us. Appreciate the song requests. Let's see what we get tonight. Dance Monkey. Okay, come on, here we go. Try with just the violin. See how we do. There we go. It's okay. There we go. All right, that was Dance Monkey. CEGC. Sorry, John Pork, I don't know Paganini. But good request anyway. Hey, if you like the music, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, remember there's the chats, the super chats and the stickers, ways you can show some love and support. Also, in the description, I have links for ways you can leave a tip or get access to some of the songs I've recorded. So check that out there too. So let me tell you what I'm doing. So I'm playing the guitar and the violin, and I've got my looper pedal. So mostly I do pop covers. So I tell people anything from the Beatles to Justin Bieber, Michael Jackson, Adele, Prince. It's kind of but I got wider range than that, but pop stuff, top 40s. So if you got a song in that kind of genre area, let me know. See if I can play it for you, like Dance Monkey or even country, some rock. I don't really know so many of the classical ones like Winter or Paganini. So sorry. I never really learned that stuff. All right, anyway, let me keep the music going for you. I'm going to charge my phone. Let's see here. We're okay. We're okay. If we need to, we'll plug it in. Da-da-ba-da-ba-da. Metallica. Maybe, let's see. I know a couple Metallica ones. Okay. Whoops. It's okay. Looper malfunction. Player malfunction. Here we go. that was Metallica. I think that was Metallica. Yeah. Nothing else matters. Hola María, qué bonito, siempre es un placer escucharte. Muchas gracias y siempre es un placer para charlar contigo. Creep, DD, Creep by, not TLC Creep, right? You mean the other Creep by Radiohead? Maureen, good to see you. Espinosaurio, 567. I speak Spanish, but I'm using the English to Spanish translator. Muchas gracias, Espinosaurio. ¿Vives en España también? Hey, I appreciate the song request. Radiohead. All right, let's do it. Didi, let me know where in the world you are. And y María, si quieres escuchar a Queen, tengo una canción para ti. My name is Joseph E. Reed, the One Man Orchestra. Obviously, I speak a little Spanish because I studied in school and practiced. But English is my first language. But I enjoy meeting people from other places. There's some other languages that I'm like, oh, I know a word in that language, and so it's cool. Like if you're from Memphis, Tennessee, or from Philly, well, that's English. But yeah, all right. Let me play some more music for you. Here's Radiohead. Creep. Let's see here. I'm gonna pick the. Oh, I dropped it. There. Pick that up. Let's see. How's it go? Hey, good song. DD, thank you so much for the tip. Can I give a heart? Hey, I can. Rock on. Like, hey, I can like it too. Hey, I'm learning about this platform. Thank you so very much, DD. I'm glad you enjoy the music. Killing it. I like that song a lot. It's a good jam. DD from Memphis, Tennessee. Radiohead Creep. I should put that on my regular list because a lot of people request that song. All right, María, un canción para ti. ¿Estás aquí? María is in España. Put one for her. Keep the song requests coming. Make sure you like and subscribe. Joseph E. Reed, the one-man orchestra. Doing all this with my guitar, violin, looper pedal. Got some effects on my violin too. Here's a little Queen for María. Si ella está aquí. ¿Dónde estás, María? There we go. Freddie Mercury, Under Pressure. You got it. If you have any other song requests, let me know. Also, check the links in the description. There's other ways you can show support: Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. You can buy me a coffee too. If you go to the buymeacoffee.com/Joseph E. Reed website, you can also get a recording of some of the songs I've done, some of these cover songs. I think you'll enjoy them. So check that out. It's raining outside. Where is my mind? The Pixies. Where is my mind? Whoa, 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 whoa. Should I know that song? I think I've heard of the Pixies. One of the problems I have is I listen to a lot of music, like on the radio, but I don't always get like the names of the artists or the names of the songs. So let me see. Where is my mind? Pixies. Let me listen to a little bit of it and see if I know it. Oh, this is the song? That's a cool song. All right, let me figure this out. Right. Let me give it a try. I'll do it in easier, different key. Let's see here. 1, 3, 3, 1, 3. Oh, here we go. That's a good song. I never knew that that was called Where Is My Mind. But I heard that song before. It's a good one. I should practice it. Of course. Thank you, Dee Dee. From Memphis. Let me go back to my list. There's other songs on here that that's a good one there. So this is usually kind of like my practice time, so it's not like a show. I do have a show tomorrow though. I'm playing at a country club in Cartersville. It's a town about an hour north of Atlanta. Uh, but anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, this is my time to practice, so it's helpful that y'all give me song suggestions and requests. Keeps me on my toes here in hot Atlanta, where it's raining today. But if I make a mistake, I try to apologize, but just sometimes it's too late to apologize. So I'll play that for you. Sorry, that was a cheesy joke. Here we go. There we go. All right. Alif Bata Fingerstyle from my country, Indonesia. Hey, that's what's up. Hello, by you, sir. Thank you, Didi. Too late to apologize. One Republic. It's a fun song. All right. Oh, let me try this one. Since somebody here is from Memphis, Tennessee, this is one I wrote down. I was trying to work on. Let me see if I can find it here. This one's got a crazy sort of rhythm to it. Try it. Here we go. Put it sideways. Make this big. Okay. Righto. Never done it before. Just, well, you don't know that. It'll be fine, don't worry. Hey, my looper pedal's not working. Try again. There we go. All right. Walking in Memphis. Who's that song by anyway? That's by I don't know. Oh, Mark Cohn. Okay. Rosetta Marie, good to see you. Just stopping by. Awesome. Have a great evening. Thank you so much. Good to see you. I still got to work on that song that you requested. I've been busy, sorry. But I listened to it. All right. Walking in Memphis. Walking with my feet. Okay. If you got any other song requests, let me know. Put it in the chat. Also, much appreciated are the signs of appreciation, like the super chats and the stickers and the links in the description. All those good things. They go a long way. All right, let me do this one here. Okay. Okay. Too much stuff here, man. Here we go. All right, this one I always get mixed up with another song, so I better practice it. Alrighty. That little music from Down Under for you. Wonderwall by Oasis. Hope you're digging the music. Hey, why don't you leave me a message in the chat and let me know that my thing has not frozen up. It freezes up sometimes. Let me know where you are in the world if you have a song request. Or you can just leave a tip, one of those stickers or super chats. Anything is appreciated. My name is Joseph E. Reed, the One Man Orchestra. Let me see the time. It's about 9:30 here. Got a good day ahead of me tomorrow. Oh, gotta let you know. So I'm playing tomorrow at a country club. So from like 6 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, I'll be playing there. So join the live stream at that time. Check out some music, and you'll hear some nice background sounds of people eating their fancy dinners and stuff there too. Also, this Sunday, Father's Day, I'll be playing at Omni Coffee and Eggs, which is in downtown Atlanta. A beautiful restaurant, a lot of fun. When you walk in there, they're like, "Good day, Your Majesty," and everyone's dressed in like, Bridgerton type outfits and stuff. Anyway, I'll be playing there for a fancy brunch, I call it. I'll be doing the live music from 10:30 until about 1:30 or 2 o'clock. So check that out Sunday, January 15th at Omni Coffee and Eggs. And I also will be doing a live stream for that. So you can join in there too. All right. Let's keep the music going. Not seeing any messages. Let me know you're here. Let me just double check and see if this is frozen, because sometimes it freezes on me. Okay. Song request, let me know. Let's try this one. Right. No. There we go. Good. little usher for you. You got it bad. Just trying a bunch of songs I haven't really worked on in a while, so that's a good one there. I should put the chords on for that. Let's see. You got it bad. So I'm gonna do. A minor, F, and then A minor, F, and then A minor, G, the dash thing, A minor, G, like F, right? F to E. Let me just make sure that's what I'm doing here. D minor and E. Cool. Good, got that down. Okay, let me try this one here. And this, I'll probably have this be my last one because I gotta shut it down and get some rest. right, that was Torn by Natalie Imbruglia. Working on that one too. Hey, hope y'all enjoyed the music. Make sure you like and subscribe. My name is Joseph E. Reed, the One Man Orchestra. Just practicing my repertoire, pop songs. And hey, if you enjoyed the music, make sure you like and subscribe and share with other people. Check the links in the description. Buy me a coffee, buymeacoffee.com. Go to my website, josephereed.com. Yeah. All right. Gonna go to sleep now. God bless.